That's what we see Jay-Z has done. That's what we see Puff has done. The music don't become how you pay the bills. It's a lot of pressure off of it. You got other things bringing in income, you can make music.
This new song with Nip and Jay, what the fuck, I got something to say. What a slap in the fucking face. Like what the fuck is going on? Who told you that song and did you know all along? And why did your bitch sell that painting 2 weeks after he was gone? I'ma tell you what it feels like. It feels a little fishy. Feels like something's going on ever since that John Legend song and college prediction of a Grammy. If you ask me, I can't stand him. Seems a little weird. Question number 1, why is there no blood? Question number 2, Sam left in the AM is true, but you're talking about the shits all up in the afternoon. Don't trip, we're gonna find out the truth soon. Who did what to who? Did they plan to eat the chili fries or was it just a surprise? Can you see the lies of witness in a cowboy's eyes? Are we gonna just sit here and forget? Are we gonna ride like Nip said? It's a little weird that the judge quit. Handing out immunities like candy makes me sick. I got a lot of unanswered questions like, why is the footage all grit and I can't see shit? Who the fuck is that white man in that white BMW? Probably was the FBI. Yeah, I noticed that white guy, and I noticed the car wasn't in the pictures when they showed them afterwards. They thought we would forget. They got that shit backwards. They weren't expecting me to drop this track and raise all these questions with my Mac words. I'm really mobbing through LA smoking backwoods. I've been doing this shit all my life. TMC, AMI. You might just see an empty parking lot when you ride by. Well, me, I see way more. I see an independently owned store. I see the community taking power back, whether you're white, Mexican, Asian, or black. As long as you're not blue. Good ones, there might be a few, but from my life experience, I'm like, fuck that. I'm not defending Eric, but what's the fucking delay? They requested a quick trial, it's been over 800 days. They try to distract us in so many clever, creative ways. Yeah, you got your Grammy, and now you're a billionaire. But what about the families that are still living there? Seems a little unfair, just a little something to compare. I never seen a fireman wearing a bulletproof vest. Yes, the shit to me seems a little suspect. The shit's a little weird. Crisis actors taking away our fathers, making our child some bastards, killing creative men and women for their masters. The waves that Nip wrote in, you didn't know it began. A bunch of new chapters. You didn't think about what would happen after. We would put the pieces together on your transparent bullshit. I can see right through it, like the clear blue sky in the LA sunny weather, where the palm trees swing side to side and we ride together on a white horse or a double R hearse in a foreign car. Either way, you gotta be on guard because they're on tap for anyone who's brown or black with tats. Everybody sees it, but nobody wants to attack. It's sad if you ask. We all gotta blast back. We're in the game, though we can't touch the ball. Seems a little unfair if you ask me, that's all. So take your ignorant ass to YouTube and type in Tanique Reviews to get the real news. We're doing the shit for justice, not views. Sharing knowledge and coming together, that's the real tool. He tried to lead us to the lake, so don't sleep on the knowledge that he gave to me and you. He wanted us to learn from his mistakes, so with our new knowledge, good decisions we could make. And also one thing I wanted to say myself, they killed Dr. Sebi because he was teaching health. Assassins, they come in all shapes and sizes, big booties, hips and thighs. Oh, you're Diddy's girl, right? Oh yeah, John Legend, some things happen at your video shoot. I got a couple questions for you. All those strings you pulled, you still can't make a rap hit. You punk ass little bitch, you probably got a little dick. All the shit that you have to did. This new song with Nip and Jay, what the fuck, I got something to say. What a slap in the fucking face. This new song with Nip and Jay, what the fuck, I got something to say. What a slap in the fucking face.
Good morning, Vietnam! Good morning, chat. Good morning, chat. I thought I would just say that. Of course, we got some of the crew that showed themselves. We got a lot of people who don't show themselves. Now people either come over and just listen to the show or hide. They looky-loos. They won't show, but we can see them. Of course, we got Breezy B up in the building. One Nation to you. And of course, we have the lovely Michelle McMorris Cashier. We have Brian Buford up in here. I thank you guys for being here. And of course, everything on this show is alleged. And we use it for entertainment, spiritual, religious, and educational purposes. We have to say that. You get that out of the way first, especially for all the looky-loos who want to know what we're going to talk about ahead of time. Yeah, we're going to talk about you, the looky-loos. I'm talking about the ones who don't want to show themselves. We're going to talk about you. We're sure we are. Because if you make the news, that's your problem. You make the news or you got an interesting story, we're going to tell it. We make no gripes about that. But, man, you know, I once again, I shot this last night. I don't know what happened. It went error. And when I came back on, I was asleep. I shot this last night, and an error popped up. I don't know what the error was, but I know somebody was listening. This happens when you use StreamYard and you stream over to YouTube. All kind of things can happen in between there when they don't want the message that you're talking about to actually get out. Now, I have been, watching over. I think this would make 3.5 times that I've watched the Black Sam interview with Big Boy. 3.5 times. The reason why I say halftime is because I got halfway through it yesterday. I didn't finish all of it, but I watched it 3 full times. And this interview, if you guys haven't seen it, which I'm sure a lot of you have, y'all should go watch it again and listen because Black Sam drops a lot of gems and a lot of jewels in this interview. I mean, this to me is the third greatest interview of the year already. First, of course, nothing will touch Cat Williams. That's just out the park. And then to watch everything Cat Williams say come true, that's a whole nother ball game. And of course, after Cat Williams, when Monique came on and set the place on fire, nothing would have touched that either. So Monique and Cat Williams shut the internet down. But this one is definitely up there too. The only thing I think that really hurts this interview is the longevity, the time that they waited, to speak to the people and to talk to the people. And I don't know if that was calculated or if, that's something that it's just weird to me because the people was definitely in this family's corner. I've seen a lot of rappers die mysteriously and stuff, and you guys probably have too. But I don't care who it is, you'll never find a fan base as loyal as Nipsey Hussle's fan base. I challenge you to find it. I challenge you to find a fan base. What's up, Lisa Allen in the building? I challenge you to find a fan base as loyal as Nipsey Hussle's fan base around the world. I mean, all you have to do is realize, say Nip may have been a rap 15, 17 years, blew up in 1 year with Victory Lap. And that was pretty much the one he blew up on. But yet and still, if you take a picture of Michael Jackson's funeral at the Staples Center and take a picture of Nipsey Hussle's funeral at the Staples Center, you'll see that Nipsey Hussle outdid Michael Jackson, who had more than probably 60 years or 50 years plus in this industry with the Jackson 5 and then Michael Jackson himself. All right. And you see Nipsey, his fan base, in that audience. One of the shocking things that you guys probably don't know, those are representatives and people from around the world. That's just not California in that audience. You have people from all the states representing Nipsey Hussle at his funeral. So what I mean by waiting, had these people were to have spoke or said anything, LA would be in trouble. There's no question about that. Yeah, Operation Laser, that's it. But I want to go to Operation Laser right now. The question I want to ask, because listening to Black Sam raised, uh, man, how can it was a great interview. But if you listen to it, there are more questions raised than there were before. What's up, morning, Lucius 071? There are a lot of questions raised, okay? If you listen to this interview, you're going to have 1,000 more questions than you did in March of 2019 when Nipsey Hussle was unalived, all right? I got a lot of questions raised. For instance, and I also talked to somebody in the penal system in California and in the medical system in California. And I want to share with you what they said about Eric Holder. One of the things, as I'm listening to Black talk, is Black never does address if Nipsey Hussle was shot 10 times at the marathon, where was all that blood? Why ain't he talking about it? What happened to the blood? I'm not going to pull up the pictures and show the pictures. Y'all should remember those by now. Why didn't he go over the fact that Nipsey's on a white gurney and there's no blood coming off the gurney? Just a white T-shirt with dried up blood on it. If you go back and look, it's a white T-shirt with dried up blood on it. But they would have you believe that Nipsey Hussle was shot 10 times. Where was the blood? He never went over any of that at all. Period. I put up here one time to show you my point. An actual person being shot, and YouTube flagged me. and y'all saw the blood just spill up under the person's back. They were shot in the front, came out the back. Blood was everywhere. The cops were taking off the building blood samples that was about maybe 5, 6 feet away. They were taking blood samples off the building. All right, blood samples off the building, 5, 6 feet away from where a person had been shot. One time, the person bled out and died right in front of us. I played the video right here on YouTube. Nipsey Hussle was shot 10 times. All right, and there is no blood up under him, going up his back, his head, his legs, and his socks. Remember, his shoes off. They're white. There was no blood. One of the issues, Killer Car, what's up in the building? One of the issues that caused me to think about is something's not right. And then for the past like 6 months, 6 months, I've been trying to like really get an idea what they did with Eric Holder. Where is Eric Holder? For the past 6 months, I've been trying to look it up and see, where is this guy at? What prison that they put him in California, because I just refuse to believe that you could kill Nipsey Hussle and go to general population in a prison in California. I don't believe it at all, period. And just get away. And then I discovered some things that were kind of shocking to me. Where do I start? One of the things that I discovered, now, in the early beginnings, and like when the trial and stuff was being talked about, they said that I don't know this my phone for some reason. Can you all hear me? I want to see if you can hear me. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Okay, good. I wanted to know what Eric Holder was, because I just don't believe that this guy is sitting in general population, and ain't none of us heard nothing about him. Ain't no fight broke out. And so I got to talking to somebody in the penal system who wouldn't share, allegedly in the penal system, I have to say, who said to me that Eric Holder was being treated at California Hospital. He was in the hospital. And I was like, what? Like, yeah. I was like, okay, well, every jail I know has a psychiatric ward. And they're like, it's like, nah, bro. Eric Holder been treated at California Hospital. And he alluded to the fact that guy may not even be in prison. And then he alluded to the fact, which shocked me, that he said that if Eric Holder wanted to, he could hire a lawyer, a better lawyer, and would get out of jail in no time flat. He said that, in fact, if you want to know, between 2035 and 2038, Eric Holder is going to be released anyway. Something that's definitely fishy with no blood. Exactly, Brian. So between 2035 and 2038, Eric Holder is going to be released anyway, is what he said to me. I said, what? He said, yeah, but he said if he got a lawyer, he would get out. And I said, well, why, would he get out? And the guy said to me, if you go back and watch the trial, John McKinney fought so hard that the judge would not let Eric Holder's doctor talk. But they would take the doctor's report and acknowledge everything in the report. But John McKinney, the prosecutor, did not want Eric Holder's doctor to talk. And I said, why? He said, because had that doctor talked and told you and told a jury or anybody how schizophrenic Eric Holder was and had been professionally diagnosed at 19 with schizophrenia, they possibly would have said not guilty due to mental health. And just the fact that he was denied the right for his doctor to tell a jury that, he said that's more than enough if he really wanted to get out, but they treated him so well inside the system. Why should he want to get out and have people on the street kill him. And then he alluded to one other thing, and this is something else Black Sam didn't address. He alluded to that tape that we see is not the original tape, and the state of California has no intention on ever showing us the original tape, because if they showed us the original tape, they said that all heck would break loose from Southern California to Northern California, and they don't want no more riots. So nobody's ever going to see the real tape, period. What so have we? They just going to tell us what they want us to know. So Killer Carr says he got sentenced without the possibility to the road. No, he got sentenced to 60 years. No. No, no. And life in prison usually means 50 years anyway. So he got sentenced. He got sentenced to 60 years. But I'm telling you that he has a parole date, because I already seen it. He coming up for parole in 2038. I already laid eyes on it. I done seen it. Not saying they're gonna parole him, but that will be the first parole hearing. And since he's on the now, let me just say it like this, Killer Car, and I'm gonna make it real short. Hinckley shot and put bullets into Ronald Reagan. And me and Hinckley were at an ice cream store in Virginia together. That's right, the man who shot Ronald Reagan. They released him after 20 years. He got a wife and everything. And the ice cream man asked me, did I know who was that standing next to me? I was like, no, hell no, I don't know who is it. He said, that's the man that shot Ronald Reagan. And I said, no, he probably did. Dead. And Jay said, no, that's him right there. That's Hinckley. That's who shot Ronald Reagan. I was like, well, how'd he get out? Because he was in a psychiatric facility, never in jail, and they treated him and they released him, and that's his wife. I said, so that guy shot President Reagan. He said, yep. And you can look it up and see it for yourself. Shot President Reagan out doing fine, eating ice cream, going to baseball games and basketball games. And they sentenced him the same way they did Eric Holder. So don't believe that. Eric Holder is being treated by California Hospital for his mental health, and they denied him his right to testify his mental health on the stand. And so, if Eric Holder wanted to get out of jail, he could get out of jail next month with the right lawyer, with the things that happened in that trial, and people know that. So that's why they're not giving you no reports, Eric Holder. That's the reason I believe they pulled the plug on me last night talking about this, because they want Californians to forget. They want Californians to just accept Nipsey Hussle as their hero and he gone. All right. But I wonder when we gonna wake up as a people, that we can't just let people go around and shoot and kill us and get away with it. You know, we got soon as Sonia Macy was killed by the guy in Sangamon County, Illinois, the very next week a cop shot and killed another black woman for no reason at all. He got charged too. I don't actually he had shot her a year before, and they hid the body cam footage and finally released it. And he shot and killed a black woman. So Sonia Macy was not even the first one, you know. So my whole point in the matter is they give us this junk, send Ben Crump, and then after 2, 3 days, we go about our normal life and forget it like it ain't even happening no more. And I'm gonna tell you, I hate to say this, but God's gonna let something bad happen in the black community because y'all not waking up. Y'all not waking up, and something really bad is gonna happen, and you're gonna wake up and try and shake and move, and you're not gonna be able to, because I don't know what it's gonna take to make us wake up. So listen, George Floyd. It should have been enough for Dr. King and Malcolm X, Medgar Evers, and Khalid Muhammad. All right, but I'm gonna go here. George Floyd should have been the last time that any of that ever happened again in our community. They ain't killing the Italians. They're not killing the Jews. They're not even killing the Mexicans. In New York, the illegal immigrants are getting like $1,200 a week on their cards in New York, and hundreds of dollars of food stamps. They don't even have to fill out an application. And yet you have New Yorkers that are outdoors. That's a shame. That is a shame. And here we are. We still ain't being paid reparations yet or anything. We pay the Asian community for wars we didn't have nothing to do with. We pay the Jews. Hitler was the one killed them. Germany ain't giving them a dime. Why do we pay them? And yet they refuse to pay us for 500 and some years of slavery. And even the slavery we endured all the way to this current day. Everything that's wrong in our community, everything that's wrong in our community goes back to the way America has treated African American people. All the things that are negative in our community, even though we may be the ones actually doing, we were put in a system to program us to do those things. A program, we were put in a system to program us to disrespect us. And and they are directly responsible for that. Directly responsible for that. And y'all must never forget that. So anyway, let's take a look at this, and I want to read this because I'm gonna get to my question real quick. It says on Wednesday, Jensen argued Eric Holder suffered from severe mental illness. So now we're finna change this. It's not just gonna be mental illness. Reading a letter from the defendant's father that claimed Holder has been diagnosed with auditory schizophrenia at age 19. Jensen said Holder often heard voices in his head that made him paranoid or erratic, describing a situation just 3 weeks before the shooting in which he threw a heavy weight through a window in a manic episode because he feared he would be murdered. Jensen did not raise a mental health defense during the trial. Jackie ultimately stopped Holder's psychologist from taking the stand, and McKinney objected to her testimony, but accepted her report on the defendant's mental health. So McKinney knew had that doctor got up there and told the truth about Eric Holder, that Eric Holder probably could have won on a mental defense or just got, they would have said guilty, but not guilty because of his mental health. And that has happened several times. Now, for those of y'all who don't believe this, um, we watching the same thing in the YSL trial, if you're watching it, with Woody down there in Atlanta, Georgia. We also watching some of the worst law being practiced by black people in my life. I look at those black prosecutors and I say it's a disgrace to God that they were even able to pass the bar exam. They got a guy on stage who done told you I'm a liar. That's all I do is lie. He said, you can't believe nothing I say. Now listen, if I'm a juror, how in the hell am I supposed to forget that? He says, I'm a liar. All I do is lie. I'll tell the police anything they want to hear as long as it saves me. And they still want to use him as their key witness to try and convict Young Thug. He robbed a drug dealer a couple of days before he killed him. He probably did. But here's my question. And I want y'all to think about this hard. And those anybody who want to come up and talk about this and really have dialogue, and we're going to talk about this, you can. Should Nip or even a Crip set gang be listening to a schizophrenic? Should Nip have been talking to a schizophrenic, if you believe that story, okay? That Nip is trying to warn a schizophrenic who all kind of stories are coming up now. They fought a week before, everything like that. Nip is trying to warn a schizophrenic that they got paperwork on him. Or or would a gang uh, perform a hit using a schizophrenic? I mean, to me, is a schizophrenic believable? That's my question. Why should a schizophrenic that all these people knew, all of them knew, there are people on the ground who knew this guy was getting a SSI check. So why should people believe that this guy, uh, who's a schizophrenic, has any credibility at all? Anybody care to tell me? You can hit that link and come up here and tell me what you think. I want to know why is a bona fide, certified schizophrenic all of a sudden credible? And why would Nip want to save him anyway? It don't make any sense to me. We talking about a schizophrenic. We talking about a schizophrenic, and of course, I found out that people who knew he got a check every month. He was schizophrenic. And what gang? Now, this is why I know about Chicago. Now, back in the day, Chicago had rules. You know, Chicago didn't choose, and anybody couldn't join a gang. That's one of the that Chicago's a home of gang banging. So, you got to go back to 20s and 30s, Al Capone, Bugs Moran, and then eventually, black people forming their own gangs, the El Rugans and Blackstone Rangers, the Black Gangster Disciple Nation. Chicago's the home of it. All them other places beginning. My point and saying all that, they had rules on who they would take, who could be in it, and you just couldn't be anybody in it. And if you still had a chance, if you were doing something positive and still had a chance, they wouldn't take you. But if they could tell if your life was over, whatever it was, they took you. But people with mental health and stuff like that, I don't see that happening. These were leaders. They were on a mission, and they wasn't on a mission to terrorize Chicago. They were on a mission to take over the politics of Chicago. Larry Hoover saw Mayor Richard Daley's father become mayor. Mayor Richard Daley's father, I believe, had connections or ties to Bugs Moran and the Irish, whatever, gang in Chicago. So, nevertheless, that didn't stop him from becoming mayor of Chicago. And at that time, Chicago was pushing 80, it was pushing 90% black. And so Larry Hoover saw the vision. The power was not running up and down the streets. The power was trying to put a black mayor in Chicago. I tell you this, that's something I want nobody to tell you. Without Larry Hoover, there wouldn't have been no Harold Washington. Harold Washington didn't put it in black people in Chicago about no black mayor. Larry Hoover did. And when Harold Washington came along, he benefited from what Larry Hoover had taught us about their strength in numbers. He started talking to black. That's why Larry Hoover didn't go to jail for gang banging. Larry Hoover went to jail because he started to make people want to get in politics, and black people want to be in politics. Michelle McMorris says they probably used him for some foul stuff before and knew he would get off because of his mental illness. And you know what? You probably right, Michelle. You probably absolutely right. And you go back to what this thing is that Nipsey was telling him about paperwork, and maybe you really own something. But then you got to ask yourself a question: how did Nip discover that paperwork? Because you got some people, depending on which side you own. Now, one thing has been consistent: the family has said repeatedly, and I want to make this clear, that Nipsey Hussle was never meeting with the police. Now I know what Michael Moore, the police chief, and whatever Mr. Saberoff say, and other people say, but Nip ain't here to talk to us. But who are you gonna believe, those people or this man's family? That Nipsey, who held until the day he died that he was a rolling 60, is gonna meet with the police, and if he's gonna do that, to me, that's in clear violation. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Thank you. That's in clear violation because he's not the head, I don't believe, of the Rolling 60s. So how you gonna negotiate peace with the police department? But the family has consistently said, and I got the documentary on my page. I took a strike for y'all so y'all can watch that documentary. They've consistently said Nipsey was not meeting with the police. So I don't know who to believe at this point. The police say that they was. Other rappers and other people on the ground say they heard he was, but the family, who I think would know him more than better than anybody, has consistently said that he was not. And they went after the police department with attorneys for putting that out there. So to me, the fact that he knew that there were papers on Eric Holder, Michelle, goes to your point, what you're saying. They probably knew he would carry this out. Now, but my question would be, How come they have so much faith? Yeah, that's what we're talking about. I saw the interview. How come we have so much faith in a schizophrenic? Why is it whoever put Eric Holder up to this, knowing that he's schizophrenic, has so much faith in a schizophrenic? Don't anybody other than me find that suspicious that they have that kind of faith in a schizophrenic? The man has auditory schizophrenia, and they have that kind of faith in a schizophrenic. I don't understand. I don't get it. Now, looking back, somebody sent me last night how many. I can't pull it up now, but that's who they look for to do these jobs. I believe that the guy who shot Donald Trump is a schizophrenic. The guy who went up and shot up Sandy Hook, the school, he had mental health issues. That's who they look for to do this. And somebody sent me those statistics. That's who they look for to do this. That these people are more likely to do that. When you think about him running and then coming back and shooting him and running, he would have to be schizophrenic. And he would have had to have some assurance that nothing was going to happen to him. And I learned some things about the hospital he tried to check himself into, but I'm not going to say it because I'm not going to get me in trouble, and y'all don't support the channel anyway, so it don't make sense. But I learned a lot about that hospital that nobody talked about, that Eric Holder tried to check himself into it. There's a reason he tried to get to that hospital and check himself into that hospital, but I'm not going to talk about. I'm going to talk about that at a later date. So, watching the interview with Black Sam, questions to me just popped up all over my mind. Like I said to you earlier, the condition of the body laying there, uh, even a headshot. Um, and no blood under the head, no blood under his back, no blood under his shorts, no blood. Uh, when a person gets shot, blood goes everywhere. And I wonder why he didn't address those issues of the lack of blood. Not that there wasn't some blood, but to me, I don't care what anybody's saying. Let me just get this out of the way. I believe Nipsey Hussle was shot somewhere else and brought to the marathon. And it's going to be very difficult for you to make me believe anything else. I believe Nipsey Hussle even had work partially done on him. They didn't fully clean him up, but he wasn't. Where's the blood spillage? Where is the blood spillage? I mean, if you're going to come on an interview, and this is why I say Baby Boy did a good job because he didn't want to go into this area. You know, man, I want to know, man, where was all the blood? Did y'all, did they shoot him in the store, or did this happen at the dispensary? I know nobody really talks about the dispensary, but Black Sam made the statement that he spent the night in the dispensary, and then got up early in the morning because morning's brought up, and he went to Grandma's house and got some sleep. So there's your morning that Grandma said uh, about Black Sam. He spent the night in dispensary. They went to Wally's, the restaurant, the night before, and at the restaurant, he talked about extensively how they were concerned about Nip's. Listen to this. They were concerned about his security. All right. Now he also alludes to them being concerned about his security because there were people on the ground who were mad that he brought DJ Khaled into the neighborhood. All right, that's real. He was concerned because he brought DJ Khaled into the neighborhood. Now that automatically gives us some people right in our face right there. So we got Irene Humlich says they all say they're schizophrenic when they have a murder rap under them. No, Irene, I got a chance to see some stuff, and that boy Eric Holder was definitely auditory schizophrenic and received SSI for it, and he's been professionally diagnosed since 2019, even though they went through bipolar phases and a bunch of other stuff even before that. So he's had mental health issues since from a kid, but professionally diagnosed with auditory schizophrenia and acted out over the years doing some serious erratic things. So my point being, there's definitely a mental health issue here. And these people who I'm talking about, like the boy who shot up Sandy Hook, that boy came straight from the mental institution. The first thing he did was kill his mother or his grandmother, one of them. He killed them before he went to the school and shot up all those kids at Sandy Hook. So these people definitely have mental health issues. But for some reason, whoever assigns them to do a hit can trust them to do the hit. And so what gets me is seeing that a person with schizophrenic and mental health issues can become so erratic so quick. Why is there such serious trust placed in those people and they're schizophrenic? It's just weird to me. It just don't make any sense. You're not worried that they're gonna do something before they get there, before they even get the job done. There's no worry in your mind at all that they're gonna fail, they're gonna make a mistake. You know that they're going to carry it out. Now, here's my belief: the only way they can know that and believe that is if they've taken these people and they've used MK Ultra. And the reason why they shot the boy who shot and tried to kill President Trump is because they didn't want him to tell. If you don't know that's a government job, you just can't be helped. You can't be helped. That was definitely a government job. They want to blame it on Iran and everybody else, and they put all this stuff in the news. Y'all need to stop watching the news. That was the reason why they wanted to shut TikTok down, because people got the real news from the real people who were there. The news could not compete with TikTok. YouTube can't compete with TikTok. Facebook can't compete with TikTok. That's why they wanted to. That's why they want TikTok to sell, because these shows can't compete with it. It's got a superior algorithm, and it is one of the only platforms that, if you really open up a platform on TikTok, that you can make some genuine dollars on. If you make $100 on YouTube for platforms that are monetized, this platform is not monetized. We make no money on YouTube. If you make $100 on YouTube, YouTube wants 85 of those dollars, just because. Literally, it's a complete ripoff. And the reason why YouTube did this was because they made a mistake. I forget when it was, but it used to have this guy. His name was something John, and this guy was a terrorist over in the Middle East. And this is when the terrorists used to get Americans or whoever and cut their heads off on a video, cut their heads off. And so this guy was running ads on YouTube in between Kraft macaroni and cheese or something like that. He's running ads or something like that. And so YouTube lost a lot of money. So the way they recouped their money was the government let them charge the creators. So where back in the day, creators making money on YouTube, YouTube took 95% of it to make up for the money that they lost. TikTok is not like that. Facebook never really paid no money anyway, unless you did skits and full-length movies, and you had to go through hell to even get it monetized. You got all these processes. You got Mark Zuckerberg wouldn't let nobody make no money. But, some people found ways around that. And then a lot of times you see folk with all these followings, and you think they have these big followings, but they don't. They have paid followings, because you can buy followers to make your account look good. That's right. You can buy followers for TikTok. You can buy followers for YouTube. You can buy followers for Instagram. And if you check, you'll see that a lot of these people have paid money for people to follow them. You say, oh, they got 280,000 followers. Yeah. How many of those people were bought and paid for? Because they allow agencies to sell followers. Now, getting away from the subject, it's real simple. Should a schizophrenic have that much trust put in them? What do y'all say? Just type it in the chat. Should a schizophrenic have that much trust put in them? To me, I say no. That's what I say. Absolutely no. No schizophrenic should have the kind of trust. Or not only that, What were the weapons that they're using? The guy who shot President Trump able to get 8 shots off. Who taught him how to use it? When did they find time to teach him how to use it if he's a schizophrenic? So to me, looking at this interview, it just opened so many questions. It didn't close, it didn't give me closure. One, I want to know who is it on the ground that was upset that Cal is there. Of course, I know who he's alluding to. I agree with you, Lucius. I know who he's alluding to. Why didn't he just come out and say it? Not throw a gem. Just say who called that video shoot and who threatened Nipsey about shooting videos. And then the biggest question, I wonder why they just didn't shoot the video in Miami. LA ain't the most prettiest place in the world. They could have shot that video in Miami by the water and stuff like that. If you know you got an issue and your issue is street related, you know that issue is not going to end very well, except some real money or something's involved. So if there's an issue, we can solve this issue because we'll shoot the video in one of the other 49 states. Was shooting this video in Los Angeles that important that you want to put Nip's life at risk? And you got people on the ground telling you that they don't appreciate it. You got a whole building that you rented for the video shoot. And they're not giving you the whole building, they're only giving you the top 2 floors. But you started talking about y'all came hard, y'all got Khaled in, got Khaled out. Yeah, but it cost you your brother. And that's what I'm saying, man. I mean, the hell with DJ Khaled. DJ Khaled has never impressed me besides uh, screaming his name. What the hell did he do? Screaming his name. Man, I don't get nothing out of no screaming DJ Khaled. Oh, man, screwing up whole records just screaming his name. Now, he has some power, but he comes from the Middle East, and he comes from a part of, I forget what part of the Middle East Khaled comes from. He's just like them. They're Eritrean. Khaled comes from Egypt somewhere over there, too. Exactly. And I'm sorry, Michelle says exactly. And is Sam cleared because they killed Nipsey? I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out some things here that I don't understand. That's a question. But to me, when you watch the interview, I want y'all to go back and watch it, pause it, and look at it. More questions arise out of this interview than we ever had before. Like, just to find out that they're not satisfied, and he's saying that more things about this killing is going to come out, tells me that they're not even satisfied with Eric Holder. I don't even think they went to trial one day when Eric Holder went to trial. They used Cowboy as a family. They never went to trial. They never had nothing to do with it. From day one, they blamed the police department, and then the police department came out with Operation Laser, that they had been trying to kill not only Nipsey, but Black Sam. I'm going to say this and I'm getting ready to get out of here. I don't even believe that that hit was for Nipsey. I know this may shock y'all. I believe that hit was for him, Black Sam. I've always believed it. And I believe that that's why he spent the night at the store. He survived the hit. That's right. They were on him first in the street fight. Yep, that's what I believe, Michelle. I believe that Black Sam know that that hit was for him, possibly because he shot up in the air at Big U. But Black Sam, as Nipsey always said, was the brains of all of this. And so, if you want to put a stop to all of this, you put a stop to the brains. And I believe that when I looked at Black Sam, and I looked at him 3.5 times, I'm gonna finish my other half sometime today. Black Sam knew that that hit was for him. And that's exactly, listen to what he said. He said, I told bro, I said, look, before you pull up at the marathon, make sure you call somebody. He talked about how they're supposed to have the hoodies on. He talked about how they're supposed to have guns. To me, he's talking about Rand Paul. He's talking about Cowboy. Cowboy, they ain't had no hoodies on. Nip just rolled up Nobody make any phone calls, and he's asking. He don't know why that plan wasn't followed. Now I'm told that a lot of those same guys now they hang out with Big U. I'm not saying they're doing anything wrong. They could be learning Islam or something like that, or they could be working in the community trying to help children. A lot of those guys that you saw there hang out with Big U now. Is what I'm told. That's what I'm told. I don't know. I have no way of knowing. It may not be true, but that's what I'm being told from people who live there. A lot of those guys hang out with Big U. I believe that hit was for Black Sam. You'll never make me believe that hit was for Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey was there, and I just think he just took advantage of the fact that Nip was there. But even with the chili fries and the walking around, why is he doing all that? Just go kill it. Just get it out the way. But if that's not who you want, then the chili fries, the conversation, letting your girlfriend go take a picture, all taking pictures with kids, and he's standing around there, he's not getting the job done because I don't believe they sent him that he killed Nip. I believe they sent him that he killed Black Sam. And had they killed Black Sam, Nip wouldn't have never made it and never been able to succeed without his brother. And the marathon wouldn't have continued. But as long as Black Sam around, notice something. The marathon is still continuing. That's right. Think about it. Nip may not be here, but Black Sam, the mastermind behind this whole thing, has found a way to make the marathon continue. One nation.
That's what we see Jay-Z has done. That's what we see Puff has done. The music don't become how you pay the bills. It's a lot of pressure off of it. You got other things bringing in income, you can make music.
This new song with Nip and Jay, what the fuck, I got something to say. What a slap in the fucking face. Like what the fuck is going on? Who told you that song and did you know all along? And why did your bitch sell that painting 2 weeks after he was gone? I'm gonna tell you what it feels like. It feels a little fishy. Feels like something's going on ever since that John Legend song and college prediction of a Grammy. If you ask me, I can't stand him. Seems a little weird. Question number one, why is there no blood? Question number two, Sam left in the AM is true, but you're talking about the shit's all up in the afternoon. Don't trip, we're gonna find out the truth soon. Who did what to who? Did they plan to eat the chili fries or was it just a surprise? Can you see the lies of witness in a cowboy's eyes? Are we gonna just sit here and forget? Are we gonna ride like Nip said? It's a little weird that the judge quit, handing out immunities like candy makes me sick. I got a lot of unanswered questions like, why's the footage all grit and I can't see shit? Who the fuck is that white man in that white BMW? Probably was the FBI. Yeah, I noticed that white guy, and I noticed the car wasn't in the pictures when they showed them afterwards. They thought we would forget, they got that shit backwards. They weren't expecting me to drop this track and raise all these questions with my Mac words. I'm really mobbing through LA smoking backwoods. I've been doing this shit all my life. TMC, AMI. You might just see an empty parking lot when you ride by. Well, me, I see way more. I see an independently owned store. I see the community taking power back, whether you're white, Mexican, Asian, or black. As long as you're not blue. Good ones, there might be a few, but from my life experience, I'm like, fuck that. I'm not defending Eric, but what's the fucking delay? They requested a quick trial, it's been over 800 days. They try to distract us in so many clever, creative ways. Yeah, you got your Grammy, and now you're a billionaire. But what about the families that are still living there? Seems a little unfair, just a little something to compare. I never seen a fireman wearing a bulletproof vest. Yes, the shit to me seems a little suspect. The shit's a little weird. Crisis actors taking away our fathers, making our child some bastards, killing creative men and women for their masters. The waves that Nip wrote in, you didn't know when it began. A bunch of new chapters. You didn't think about what would happen after. We would put the pieces together on your transparent bullshit. I can see right through it, like the clear blue sky in the LA sunny weather, where the palm trees swing side to side and we ride together on a white horse or a double R hearse in a foreign car. Either way, you gotta be on guard because they're on tap for anyone who's brown or black with tats. Everybody sees it, but nobody wants to attack. It's sad if you ask. We all gotta blast back. We're in the game, but we can't touch the ball. Seems a little unfair if you ask me, that's all. So take your ignorant ass to YouTube and type in Tanika Views to get the real news. We're doing the shit for justice, not views. Sharing knowledge and coming together, that's the real tool. He tried to lead us to the lake, so don't sleep on the knowledge that he gave to me and you. He wanted us to learn from his mistakes, so with our new knowledge, good decisions we could make. And also one thing I want wanted to save myself. They killed Dr. Sebi cause he was teaching health. Assassins, they come in all shapes and sizes. Big booties, hips and thighs. Oh, you're Diddy's girl, right? Oh yeah, John Legend. Some things happen at your video shoot. I got a couple questions for you. All those strings you pulled, you still can't make a rap hit. You punk ass little bitch, you probably got a little dick. All the shit that you have to did. This new song with Nip and Jay, what the fuck, I got something to say. What a slap in the fucking face. This new song with Nip and Jay, what the fuck, I got something to say. What a slap in the fucking face.